All right. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Good evening and welcome, or good morning, depending on where you're finding us. Welcome to the Agency Owners and Digital Marketers Using Go High Level live Q&A. We need to come up with a better name for that. We've got the War Department working on that presently, but they still haven't come up with good ideas. I'm John Nelson. You've seen me in a lot of the videos. You've probably seen me too much running around the admin space. So I did you one better, and I went and brought the owner of the group. But there's a very, very good reason for that. This is Sheena Lee Kennerly, and we're both of us are agency owners in our spare time when we're not messing with this Facebook group and other Facebook groups as well. But one of the things that she wanted to talk about is something that she brought up to me the other night, and I thought it was fantastic. And that is, we were talking about ways to prospect on social media kind of stealthily. Many of you have noticed there have been some posts maybe disappearing of everybody offering their services in here, and everybody's a Go High Level expert, and it's sometimes hard to tell what people are and what they aren't, and it doesn't really let you get to know them. So we have modeled for you a couple of ways that begin this process, but there's a whole lot more to it. And if you're willing to go through it with us, it will change the way that you do prospecting on social media. And most importantly, it will get you results, the results that you're really looking for, because then people get to know you a little bit more, and they get to relate to you, and they connect with you a little bit more, which is what you want. And you tend to get better customers out of that. So this is the first in a long series of, we're going to try to do a couple of these lives every week. And so I thought I'd, set the bar high and get Miss Kennerly in here. And she's going to talk to us about all of this. And then afterwards, we will take your questions on just about anything you can imagine. So if there's something to do, particularly with digital marketing, Go High Level, strategy, marketing strategy, she does her agency, she does a lot of sales. We work together in the logo you see at the bottom of the screen called Atlas Agency Launch Lab, which is the most comprehensive training program I've ever seen in my life. And on top of all that, we run our own agencies and do our own stuff and swap back and forth all the time as collaborators. So without further ado, I will shut up and and I'll let Sheena jump in here. And so tell us about, kind of the onus behind all this, as far as how to prospect and why this works, and then maybe jump into it, or however you want to take it away.
Hi, everyone. As John said, yes, for agency owners, you mentioned spare time there. We're going to have a conversation about what spare time is, because right now I feel like I have none.
Doesn't exist.
I haven't been able to tag everybody inside of this group because I think Facebook's penalizing me for saying everybody in too many times, because this is my second live for the day. Mm-hmm. So this group is for all of us to network, communicate, and mostly get work from. As most of us join Facebook groups to get work and to get our questions answered. And I want this to be a group that all of you guys get work out of. People coming here that want somebody to take on a job for them aren't going to take on a job unless we change the culture a little bit. And it's going to benefit you guys in almost any group you could possibly be part of. I have multiple groups across the internet, and I'm also moderator in some really, really big groups. I know a lot of you guys are already in. So these strategies are going to show you guys how to scale your agency very, very quickly, getting clients. Mm-hmm. And as John mentioned, we have already set the stage for you guys. We introduced ourselves. So how many of you guys saw that post with my face everywhere saying, "Hi guys, my name's Sheena. It's autumn. I like reading books and drinking wine," or whatever it was I said in there.
Right.
Some of you guys said it was a little weird. That amused me a little bit, because it might be weird, but it got your attention and you commented on it.
They did. And then, I did one, but then somebody, Marvin Cree, I think is how you say that last name, posted as well and followed our lead on it. And so he's doing some of the same things as well. So that's fantastic. Yeah. Some people.
And I loved his post, by the way. I had no idea that there was different names of hibiscus tea.
Yeah. Okay.
It was awesome. See,
I learned a lot about Nigeria. That was kind of cool.
yeah, and I now remember him. And I remember
Mhm.
him, and next time he comments, I'm going to be interested in his comment. So let's talk about the strategy behind it quickly.
Okay.
When you join a group, instead of pitching your services, instead of introducing yourself and saying, "Hi, my name is Sheena. I run a full service marketing agency. I can handle anything you ever throw at me. I'm very, very good at creating comprehensive marketing strategies, doing sales, and I take on a couple of students a month and teach them how to get the agency up and running and basically do it for them and give them the keys." I don't say that. Nobody's going to care. All right.
Because everybody's doing it. Everybody
Exactly.
in the group is posting some of the same things, and some of them are cleverly written, but they're the same things.
Yep. Yep. So the reason you do an introductory post is because it sticks out. Nobody's
Right.
doing it. Nobody's doing it. So when you make a post, you want to tell something personal about yourself. Now, I word this in so many different ways, but you want to talk about something that other people are going to be able to relate to. Okay. And then you want to ask a question. You want people engaging in that post. One,
Right.
Facebook's going to trust it and like push it up so more people will see your face.
Mhm.
And then the other reason is because you want people having conversations with you. If they've had a conversation with you about jumping into a pile of autumn leaves or hibiscus tea, they're going
Mhm.
to remember your name. And then the
Right.
next time they want a job done for them and you say, "Hey, mate, I can do this for you," they're going to trust you already. It's gonna make you stick out. Okay. So make
Yeah.
sure you always ask that question.
And everybody kind of has that. I alluded to it in the post advertising this. I mean, and I'm certainly guilty. I mean, everybody kind of has their pitching wall up.
Yes.
They're with that reflects all. They look for, sales pitches a mile away and shut them down because they don't want them over the wall because they don't want them to find out. Well, this completely sidesteps that,
It
because
does.
now you sort of let them behind the wall of you, and they get to know something about you that you don't always share with everybody.
Yeah. And this leads into so many different things. It leads into prospecting, appointment setting, sales, client relations, everything that
Mhm.
you're ever going to do inside your agency.
For sure.
But for today, let's just talk about how to get prospects from other people's groups. Okay. And so the other thing that we mentioned here is there's a big picture of my face right there.
Right.
Also, the same picture I have inside of my profile. Okay.
Mhm.
Which means next time I comment on anybody's post, they're going to automatically think, this is the woman that wants to know what to do in autumn or fall. Sorry.
Mhm. Yeah.
And they're going to associate that person with me, a person, not just a person who pitched about anything.
Right.
All right. So that's going to be the first post that you should ever put inside of anybody's group. Ideally, inside of my group. I want to know way more about you guys. So please put your post there. I want to know about if you like cats,
Mhm.
dogs, coffee, tea, which summer, autumn, winter. Tell me about you guys. I want to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
You like music? What kind of music? What's your favorite, adult beverage? Whatever works. What's something unique, which has already been done, something unique about the place you live that we didn't
Yeah.
already know.
And
So yeah,
it
and
was so
and it's
interesting.
and it won't get you, banned. The other will get you banned in a lot of groups, just starting out. But this won't. This is
Yeah.
and because the group owner sees that, and the group managers see that and say, hey, they're contributing to my group. They're just it's a harmless post.
Yep.
That's telling them about themselves, and they're contributing to the group in a positive way, and not just
And
taking.
they won't know the psychology behind it. Most of them
Right.
won't know the psychology behind it. So it's really, really good way to just slide in underneath that radar.
Very true. Very
All
true.
right. The next thing you're going to do is
Actually,
you're going,
before you go there, I'm sorry. And if this person wants to claim it, they can in the comments. They might be watching here, but what about people posting videos instead of a picture?
ooh, okay.
Is
So
that a bridge too far, kind of, or should we?
yeah.
I know we should stay with what we have, but I mean, is posting videos something that maybe we want to address somewhere along the way?
So it works depending on what kind of video it is. So if this is
Mm-hmm.
a video about your service or if it's an educational one, then there's definitely a place for it further down the road.
Right.
Right. But this first one needs to be personalized about you. However, if instead of putting your profile picture there, you create a very short, when I say very short, I mean like 10 seconds, real about yourself, just saying, hi guys, or something, instead of that profile picture, you could do that. But make sure that all the content is as we just discussed. Now, don't use ChatGPT. And I know that's really hard for us. I moved to the United States 7 years ago. I know what it's like to try and get through that grammar barrier and everything else so I don't come across differently. ChatGPT, everybody knows when it's written by ChatGPT, no matter how amazing you are with prompts. And they are going to engage with it a lot less because they're going to see it and read a couple of words and be like, and move to the next one. Okay? We would much rather you use your own words, even if you're feeling uncertain and insecure about your grammar and everything else.
Right.
Then use ChatGPT. Now, the other reason you should not use ChatGPT for these introductory posts, Facebook algorithm recognizes it was written by AI. It does. And it's not going to push that post up. Even if your friends, colleagues, or followers are not inside of this group, you posting inside of this is going to be shown to them. Okay, they're going to see it, even if not part of the group. So they will also be getting this relationship connection with you. If you use ChatGPT, Facebook's not going to do that for you.
Right. There's starting to be more and more signs now from, various people that I follow, and it sounds like you as well, Sheena, that all these Facebook and Google and to some extent LinkedIn are starting to figure out which ones are AI driven, and they're not promoting them. They're not moving them as far up as in terms of posts and that sort of thing. They're not rewarding that effort as much.
Well, I haven't heard it from people that you follow, so I need a list of people you follow. I've only known this one from personal experience, but I'll definitely be interested in who it is you're following so I can start following them too.
Okay. Well, they were talking about, mostly Facebook and Google, I think. I haven't necessarily heard it about LinkedIn, but they're just, it's pretty much backing up what you're saying is that in certain circles, probably for generic, like if you're posting about something for, doing content marketing for somebody, maybe not as much. But in some things like this, that really should be human written, it's starting to know. And what it does with that, whether or not it was AI written, and what it does with that information remains to be seen.
Yep. All right. The next thing you're going to do the next day, or actually ideally less than a week later, but not like the next day. Once people have started to see your post, they've started to engage with it, they started to recognize you as a person, you're then going to start commenting on other people's posts and not in a promotional way.
Right.
This group is fantastic because people are asking questions. I asked a question today. All right. I said, hey guys, do you know how to use Go High Level and Stripe for this certain purpose? All right.
Right.
If somebody knows the answer, put it there. If you don't know the answer, just be like, I don't know, but I'd like to find out. All right. Engage with the group, engage with other people's posts without pitching.
Yeah.
Answering and giving value. All right. Now it's okay to go to ChatGPT for the answer. We're going to know you went to ChatGPT for the answer though. All right. If we knew that the answer could be found in ChatGPT, we would have found it without asking the question.
We've already been there. Yeah. As connected as ChatGPT is. And so the one you're not going to post is, I can help you with that, or I'm here for you. And we do see a lot of that, but yet you're engaging with somebody, even like you said, even if you don't know the answer, that's you can still participate. That's important.
Exactly. And as I said, and as John just said, you're not going to pitch somebody. You're not going to say, I can handle this problem. I'll see you in your DMs or something. Yeah. And don't DM anybody. If they wanted to be DM'd, it would have said, please send me a private message. It doesn't say send you a private message. Don't DM anybody. I got DM'd today from my post and I was so frustrated. I literally said to that person, hey, if you know the answer, please write it in the comment section. And they told me that they tried, but it had been blocked. Well, it's my group, guys. I can see if that comment got blocked. So just write the comment, the answer in the comments.
Right. It also shows that you didn't read and I've seen, in job posts and things where people will put very specific instructions of what they want you to do, and somebody still doesn't do it. And so then they know it's an automatic disqualification. Whereas if you do what they tell you to do, and it's okay as a, particularly in we want this to be in groups like this to be a safe space. If you don't know something, I've seen people say, hey, I'd like to know the answer to that too, just like you were saying, but it's okay to say that, guys. It's okay to not know, but that's part of the quest to learn, because then you have nothing helps you learn more, in my experience, than actually having a real project to do or a real problem to solve. That's the only way you're going to learn is when you have that in reality, because it's something you need done and figured out. So it's okay to say you don't know.
And so the reason that this works on your behalf, if some of you guys that are going, oh, well, I'm never going to get any jobs then if I'm not sending a PM, you are.
Right.
Okay. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. One, if somebody had answered that question from me, I would have said, hey, man, can we get on a call? Can you show me how to do it? I might even pay you to do it. Okay.
Right.
I need to know they know what they're doing first. Two, everybody else is going to see that you're answering people's questions. All right. People want to hire helpful people. There is this innate part of ourselves that feels turned off by somebody who only seems to be out for themselves. So if we see somebody collaborating, supporting, and giving value, then we're way more likely to hire that person. Okay. The other reason is everybody else is going to notice. So when somebody asks a question that could turn into a job, they're going to tag you in it, whether they know you or not. Yeah. Because they're like, John knows his answer.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say they'll say, hey, that person answered that about Go High Level and Stripe. And, it may be a week down the road and somebody else is asking some of the same question. It will click in their memory to say, I remember that person had an answer like that. Maybe I can reach back. I mean, I've done that several times.
Yeah.
Where you reach back to somebody to say, hey, you had the answer to this. Would you be willing to come over and look at this situation, on another post, whether you tag them or, tag the person, or you actually bring them in to the conversation. If you've gotten to a conversation and say, I'd really like to get your help on this.
Yeah.
And
it's going to get you guys work. Now, the other part of why you're going to comment on as many people as you can, especially for that week period, is, well, at least every day, is because you've just made an introductory post about yourself with your photo on it.
Right.
Okay. So whenever somebody sees that little bubble beside your name with your photograph in it, they're going to, instead of thinking, this is a marketer who's going to give me the answer, it's going to be, this is the person who loves hibiscus tea. And your advice is going to mean so much more to them because they now know you, and their brain subconsciously going to link that introductory post with your value given post, and who you are is going to be raised substantially inside of their mind. Okay.
Right.
That's
this is where the secret ninja skills come in on this. So this is part of it, but then you have more too, right?
Yep. It's a psychology.
More reason for doing this.
Okay. All right. So that's the first two steps. Make an introductory post and then give value without asking for anything back. Right. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to create a post asking for help. Okay. Because you're now this person that's relatable, because you're now this person that they know has a lot to give and that you freely give, you're now going to ask for help. And everybody's going to want to engage with that post because you're this awesome person that loves hibiscus tea, and they help Sheena, and they help John, and they help Joe Blogs and Jane Smith and everybody else. Of course they want to help this person. If I don't know how to help, I'm going to find somebody else who can. And it doesn't have to be a technical question, okay? I've used multiple different methods for this. I have said, do you know what, guys? I'm doing this, and this. Does anybody know who could use my services? I've done it that way. Or I've said, you know what, guys? I am doing this, and this. Is there anybody here who wants to help me out with this project? Little things like that. Now, they've seen your post. They know you love hibiscus tea, and I'm sorry, I'm just using yours because I love your bio so much. I really do. They've seen that you give value. They want to help you. They trust you. They're going to either give you work, refer work to you, or help you out with your project. Okay.
And something specific to this group that you're doing right there, and maybe to others too, but something we've tried to do here, some of the posts that we have left in, that are hopefully all legitimate, they seem to be, are the job posts, people looking for help, not people offering help, people looking for it, or looking for solutions to something. Then, we'll leave those on because that is, that is somebody in the group who hopefully is asking for and enjoying and appreciating the help that they get, the legitimate help they get for that type of thing. So it's good, because then you have put a lot into contributing to others there. And now, yes, you're asking for a little bit of help and you're offering people an opportunity, and follow the instructions in the post, of course, to show that you read it, among other things. But it's still legitimately you asking for help, and I'm here to tell you that will be allowed with the owner and the admin here, both admins, but she's the owner. Those things will be allowed. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So do you see the psychology? Do you see the sneaky ninja skills in what John's talking about and what I'm talking about here? There's psychology. You are flipping switches inside people's brains that they aren't even aware you're flipping. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling Facebook to promote you. Okay. Right. Facebook loves people that engages with their algorithm, makes their Facebook group seem like somewhere people want to be, things like that. If you're pandering to Meta, Meta's going to pander to you. Now, one of the ways they're going to pander to you is, those little badges that people get next to their names, top contributor, group expert, blah, blah, blah. See those things? If you've done this, if you've done what I've said, not sent people a bunch of DMs, not put unhelpful comments like, hey, I can help you. You've actually given value. People have engaged with your posts. Then Facebook's going to give you a badge. All right?
Right.
When you have a badge and you are utilizing a group by giving, and then taking, you're going to have that badge, and people are like, this person knows what they're talking about. I know them because this person referred them to this person, and this person said that they were really, really helpful. Oh, and I know that they like reading books or whatever it is. So I'm going to talk to this person and hire them.
Right.
See how it works? See how to
you give them higher priority that way, and then the people that the people that start to notice you for that, it tends to be a little deeper connection instead of something superficial or fly by night. These leads that you do get, it takes a little longer, but to following this process, but it's a deeper connection, and a really, frankly, I think a better chance at a sale ultimately. Yeah. If that's your end goal, down the road, it'll be a better client for you when you do connect with them.
And one of the reasons they're going to be better clients is they're going to respect you more. Not just because you haven't been spamming people, but because they now know a little bit about you. They respect your ethics. They love the way that you're working. And when they respect you, one, they might pay you more, but two, they're way more likely to keep you on past a job. All right. Instead of just saying, this person needs to come in and fix my funnel because something crazy is going on with it. All right, they fixed it. Awesome. Here's a couple of bucks. See you. Bye-bye. Right. It's going to be somebody that they want to nurture that relationship with. You'll be creating a network. And trust me, if you're running an agency, a network is your biggest weapon.
Exactly. And I was going to go there, because if you do good work for somebody and you've built that rapport all along the way, just like she's telling you, then they will start to refer you to people. They will start to pass your name to people who need help with specific things, that hopefully match what you do. And so then, you're expanding and growing that network right there, just like she's saying. And suddenly you find yourself with, a dozen people that you're interacting with and contacting with because 2 or 3 of them referred you to their friends.
Yep.
And the dominoes start to happen from there. And not all of them may work out, but plenty of them will.
And that brings me to my next point. If you've laid this groundwork inside of a group and you see somebody asking for help, even if it's a job you can do, if you say, I can do it, so are 100 other people, nobody's going to care. Even if you've done all this groundwork, you might not get the sale. So what I suggest you do, if you have a colleague, a partner, somebody that you know and trust inside this group, you can vouch for their work and things like that. If you have somebody, refer them instead, and then you can charge them a finder's fee if you want to. I don't charge John a finder's fee. Other people I do. But there are times I see posts and I'm like, do you want to talk to John Nelson? He's the king of Go High Level in my circle. People do it for me too. He tags me in things. So I'm much more likely to enter a conversation with the person if somebody has referred me. And conversations are what equal sales. I say that all the time, guys. If you see my YouTube channel or anything else, almost every live, conversations equal sales. But it's so true.
It's very, very true. You're right. And the referrals, that's something I'll say a lot. I mean, I've already put it in a couple of videos in here. 92% people are 92% likely to buy. I had that conversation with somebody today who had nothing to do with marketing, but he backed it up 100%. It was a real estate home buyer, and or represented a group like that, and we were talking about those same things. So it transcends everything, and it's the marketing is big, but it's not that big.
Yeah.
You tend to get you will develop circles of people that are around you, and many of those connections come from these procedures that we're talking about in social media. Most of them, in fact. That's why they call it social media, because that's an easy and a good way and a community way to reach out to people that aren't your immediate clients, and that aren't vetting you for services. They've gotten to know you now a different way, and so that group gets surprisingly small. Yeah. And so that can work in your favor if you do good work, and you're consistently giving to what's out there, and you're earning that top contributor badge. But that can also work against you if you decide to, start messing around with people. That can come back to you too. And that's where, my deep background a long time ago was as a radio DJ, and that's a very, very small group of people. It's gotten smaller now, but it was small then, 20 years ago. Yeah. And being in the media in general is a small group of people. But the same can be said of marketing here, because even though there's thousands of people that say they're digital marketers, you gravitate to groups. And if you mess around with one of them, it will cause you problems eventually down the road, more than you can imagine.
It will cause you problems because, one, I'll kick you out. Two, I know the admins of a lot of the groups that most of us here hang out in, if I'm not already a moderator in there, so we will kick you out. And three, people won't trust you. People won't trust you, no matter how amazing you are. Like, you could be literally the world's best coder, and if you aren't following steps like mine, then they aren't going to trust you. You aren't even going to have a conversation with them, which kind of brings me to my next point. All right, I run an agency. Okay. My students all run agencies. John runs agencies. My colleagues, my network all run agencies. And we are constantly looking for new talent for our teams. If I'm looking for new talent, I'm going to interview. Now, I interview quite harshly, but I'm going to interview people only who have followed these steps. All right? Mm-hmm. I'm never going to interview somebody who has spammed me, DMs me unsolicited, done any of the things that aren't what we're talking about. Now, I'm not saying you have to introduce yourself into every single group. If you feel uncomfortable putting your face out there, don't, okay? But try and find a way, your way, to follow these respectful, ninja, psychologically bending strategies, because they're going to work for you. And then people that are actually hiring talent like yours are going to respect you and find you and hire you.
Yeah. They're watching these, people from larger agencies, from software companies, from Go High Level, probably. We know they're in this group at times. So everybody's watching and everybody's paying attention, and they're noting who the helpful people are. They're noting what the results are. I mean, if somebody reports back and says, if somebody's getting referred, trust me, they're making mental notes. They're making, even in some cases, digital and physical notes of different people. It's like in sports, you have a talent scout who's always on the lookout. Could be in a completely different sport. That they're always on the lookout for people that kind of rise above it a little bit and do it well, and they will notice. It's not immediate gratification. I know we've gotten used to that in some cases, but it's more meaningful gratification.
Do you know what?
Because then things start to happen that you never saw coming because you did all the right things early.
To underline this point, I'm going to point out two very distinct situations that have happened to me in the last 3 weeks. Okay. I was helping somebody, just helping somebody. No, I wasn't getting anything from it, but I was giving as much as I could possibly give to a person who needed help. From there, I got an introduction to somebody that I would never, ever have imagined having an introduction to, or at least I want to know on how to facilitate one. And then got put on a podcast with him who is promoting my services. Okay.
Nice.
Only because I was helping somebody. And then just in the last 24 hours, once again, I was helping somebody out of the goodness of my heart. One, I truly believe in her. She's a fantastic, amazing person with a strong, solid service. I want to help. Okay. From that conversation.
And you've got a huge heart. Don't undersell that for a minute.
Well, from that conversation, I got given the opportunity to meet another massive titan of industry that it wouldn't have crossed my mind to have ever had the opportunity to meet. Now, I'm not saying this to like puff smoke or whatever, because I don't believe that that's helpful to anybody. But what I do recommend is that you follow these steps, because a year ago, that was not me. That would never, ever, ever have happened to me. And the only reason it happens to me is because I come on, I give value, and the same thing can happen to you.
Yeah. And you never know who knows somebody. That person it's not the 6 degrees of separation, but everybody loves those stories where you help somebody and it just has good ramifications down the road that nobody ever saw coming. Least of all you, or whether it comes back to you or not, or makes a tremendous difference in somebody else's life. It just feels good. It will pay dividends for you. It will come back to you in wonderful ways that you can't even imagine. And this is, relatively speaking, this is so simple to do. This is easier than a lot of prospecting. Don't look at it as prospecting. Look on social media. Look at it as you're networking.
Yeah.
And you're doing that in positive ways. And it's so much easier to do. It's almost a lot more fun, frankly. Depending on who your audience is, but get to know them, get to know their circles, be a little bit vulnerable, and even if it's niches maybe that you're trying to reach out to or trying to break in, this is a low threat way to do that. You start going into, if you're looking for chiropractors or wellness people, and you start going into their Facebook groups and you pop yourself off as a digital marketer, you can't count the seconds before you get banned and kicked out of most of them. But if you present yourself as a person exactly in these ways, that prospecting works there too. And you get to know people and you get to understand. They say, whenever you're driving through all the salesmen know this, all the salespeople know this. When you're going through a town, go to the restaurant where everybody's parked at. And don't go in there and out. Say, hey, I'm a salesperson. Here's what I got. Go in there and just sit and talk to people. Have a cup of coffee. And you will find out things in doing that you would never have known that can help you. So the same thing, that's what this is all about. The same thing applies here, in that you go, just sit and learn, sit and listen.
It's hard.
In the digital sense, right?
Yeah, it's hard. Just 5 years ago, DMing people saying, hey, can you get more clients? Hey, I can help you with this worked. It did. And it's really, really hard because a lot of us are still being taught that that's what we should be doing. It's being shoved down our throat to saying, hey, can you accept more clients, or post inside of a group telling people what you do and they're going to come running. And it's really, really hard because we're trusting our mentors. We are doing what we're told. We're not getting results. We're being blocked. We're being called a scammer. We're getting ghosted. And it's hard. Right. It's hurtful to us. Okay. So as much as this might have felt like a preachy behave yourself aside in my group conversation, it's truly not, guys. I'm here and John's here because we really, really want you guys to be a success. That's what this whole group is about. Yeah. Rising tides lift all boats. I say it all the time, and it's very, very true. So let's give each other some value. Let's help each other. And I hope that this has really, really helped you. We don't have questions inside of the comments here, but we're around. Okay. John much more than I am, because thankfully he's way better at high level than I am. So that's why he's nurturing this group. And also I really, really trust his value, and his business knowledge astounds me every single time we talk. So he's around. He will answer way more questions. If I'm needed anywhere, he will definitely tag me to make sure I'm not ignoring people. And we're gonna help each other out. So let's do it.
Right. let's do that. This is going to be fantastic. And this, I still contend this is, I mean, yeah, you said this is harder, but doing it this way is just easier and it's a lot more fun. And I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Yep. I already had conversations with people today in the group that I'm excited to learn more about them.
Yep.
And what they offer. So.
And lastly, guys, inside the featured section there, John has created a list so that you guys can promote your services in a safe place. All right. You can put your name, your contact information, what you're really, really good at, references, all of those awesome things you can put in there. I'm looking at that. Okay. I am taking a look. So is John. So are other people that are currently looking for people. So make sure you post in there. And one of these days, I'm going to pick one of you guys and we will talk about your services on a live together, whether or not you come on with me or I go through that list and promote everybody's things. These videos go on YouTube. They get shared with all my students and other people's agency owners. Everybody gets to see them. So follow these steps and let's see what good things come your way.
Absolutely.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add to that, John?
I think we've covered it a lot. If anybody has any questions, great. If not, then, ask them in the group or, comment about things that perhaps that maybe resonated with you one way or the other about this. But yeah, we don't want this to be preachy. We don't want to have to go through every day and, and shut people down and shut conversation down. It's heartbreaking, guys, frankly. So we hope that, you'll take this as the opportunity it is, to do things a little different and let's show you this works. And then if, once you get confidence here that it does, then take these same strategies elsewhere to your other groups that you interact with. And then, hey, report back to us on it and what happens. Or if you get a sale, post a sale in here. Everybody likes a win. Yes. You don't worry about naming names so much, but I mean, hey, I landed this client that's that's got 5 locations and they want me to do all the marketing stuff. Let us celebrate with you. That too is group bonding, and it's very, very cool. And go ahead.
Or even if it's like I just got newsletters. I'm running newsletters for $50 a month or whatever it is. That for me is super, super exciting to hear as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Or where you got, if you got a lead from a really cool place, yeah, some of us are going to copy it. So I mean, be a little vague, but if you don't feel comfortable doing that, but it's just going to happen. But I mean, it does help everybody too. Hey, I got, good connections doing this. Mm-hmm. Good, meaningful, people that are going to become my clients, or they can help me along the way to other people who are going to help the clients. And this is kind of the basics of what I did. Hey, if nothing else, it's a great opportunity if you're putting a post out there in what was it, step 3, to help people. That's a helpful thing. Yeah. Then you can then put that out there, and that's you're then giving of yourself, teaching somebody else. Yep. It'll help your credibility for sure.
Not only in
this group, but elsewhere. But that's it. And hope to see you guys very, very soon. If you have any questions, post them in the group and we will answer.
All right, John, can you remind us which nights you go live?
Okay, so it is we will be doing this. We are still have the group picking a better name for this, but live Q&A will work. So it is every Tuesday night at 6:30. It won't always be Sheena Lee with me. I'll have to scramble around to find talent as good as she is, but I think we'll try our best.
You have a lot to choose from.
Because otherwise you're stuck with me. So, but it'll be every night at 6:30 Central Time on Tuesday nights. Every Tuesday night at 6:30 Central Time, and then also we're going to do, for want of a better term, a lunch and learn. This will help also our folks kind of in the UK and Europe, because right now it's midnight and 1 o'clock over there in their world. So how about doing this? This would be something more like 5 or 6 p.m. Their time. And that will be on Thursdays at 11 a.m. Central Time. Thursdays at 11 a.m. Central Time. Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. So those are the 2 times we're going. There will be some other opportunities as they come up in the group, but those are the 2 you can always count on to get questions answered, to learn something, and to interact with folks. So love to see you.
Yes. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, and we'll see you again soon.